this is like fun with other, running friends. So I'm like, I'm going to do it because I knew it would put me in a good mood.
You are my BRF.
What's happening, Erika?
There for your victory lap.
Yeah.
Whoa!
How did that happen?
How did you do that?
And all of a sudden I go to zip it up and I'm like, why is the zipper in the front right now? 0 out of 10 on the recommendation scale.
I am literally crying from laughter and from so much love. Oh my God.
It's like I see off for your cornhole.
And he just smashed Arnie like that and said, you stay out of this, Arnie. And I thought,
But I don't run to stay sober. I get to run because I am.
And there she was, a halo over her head.
No, it's not freaking true. Okay. And he steps to the side and just gestures. Here's the tinkle pot. I don't need to tinkle.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 221 of the On the Runs podcast. And cue the duck boats, baby, because it's race week for the 130th running of the Boston Marathon. Today, we're going to hear from some friends at the BAA. Plus, we get to talk about some wicked exciting news this weekend. But first, before we get to any of that, I must say hello to my kick-ass rockstar co-host who just landed and got back from her vacation, 6-star Erika. What's up?
What is up, buddy? I missed you. I wish I could have brought some more of the beautiful, beautiful sunshine and warmth home with me from Palm Springs, but sadly, it stayed there and not back here with me.
Dude, it's totally cool because we had phenomenal weather here.
Good.
Windows were down, t-shirt weather. I wore my UFOs all weekend. Shout out to UFOs. They sent me a new pair. Thank you, Jen.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a beautiful week. You missed out on that first amazing week of spring here in New England because you went out to California where gas prices are $9 a gallon. I don't know what you were thinking.
Oh my God, it was ridiculous, the gas prices out there. But I didn't have to pay them. I wasn't driving, so that worked out in my favor.
If Erika can get away with doing anything for free, she will.
Well, duh, that's why we go visit family out there.
So that's what you were doing.
Expensive.
You're visiting family. This isn't your first trip. Remember last time you even found a half marathon to do just randomly, right?
That was pretty on point for me because it was right outside of where Brandon's dad lived, literally the road he lives on. And I saw signs that say watch out for runners on Sunday. And I was like, oh, what's going on Sunday? But sadly, that was in February 2 years ago. This year, there was no half marathon for me to run. So I just relaxed. I swam in a pool. I did walks. I got my mile in via walks and looked at the beautiful mountains and palm trees and, sweat my ass off. It was in the high 90s there, but no complaints. Really, no complaints.
No complaints anywhere. Beautiful
good.
week here. Beautiful week in California. I went running. It was amazing.
Good.
Yeah, sad skiing's over, but I had a phenomenal year skiing. It's last year, I was just begging for one more dump of snow to get one more epic weekend. This year, I remember finishing being I think I had my full. So the ski gear is gone. I could still make one more trip up to Jay Peak, but it looks like rain all week up there, and that just
bummer.
ruins it.
Yeah.
Hey. But I'm running again. I ran up the hill twice. Mountain runs are back, and so are the mountain talks from the top of McIntyre. So I'm excited about just doing that again and running hills for fun.
So it's just for fun? Or you're not planning on doing any races or anything like that? Or do you have something in mind?
I do have something in mind, but it has nothing to do with hills. I think I'm going to run the Newcastle 10K.
Excellent.
It's open on my calendar. This will be a sign up on Saturday before. I'll go to Millennium and I'll sign up.
Gamophobia.
Pay the max price, which is $60. But I can't commit a year in advance to these races and know I'll be around.
That's true.
But
Dad
a 10K
life.
And then the Cinco de Mayo 5K. But that's all after a crazy week coming up. My favorite week of the year. It's race week for the Boston Marathon. And this is going to be the biggest ever for us. Not of all time, because every year, hopefully a little more, but the biggest ever. I'm so pumped for this week. Saturday especially. It's going to be amazing.
I am pumped, but I'm a little nervous. It's something different. We could actually, I know we draw in a pretty good crowd when we do these live shows at Millennium, but At the Fan Fest? I don't know, you guys.
I'm not nervous. I am so confident
If you're
because
not nervous,
I am
I'm
so
not nervous.
prepared.
Gonna channel that.
And
Yes.
you are going to have like the best, nicest notes. They're going to be printed on nice paper too.
Mm-hmm.
Like a whole plan. Like I have a vision. We're going to talk about this more on Thursday. But let's just tell everyone now, like a lot more details to come on Thursday. 2 episodes this week.
Mm-hmm.
But Saturday, we're going to be in Boston all day. We're going to walk Boylston. And we're going to go in the expo. We're going to see Ashley in the expo because she's doing 100 miles on the treadmill.
That's right. Oh,
We're going to see Allie G. We're going to see a ton of people. I think we'll be there for the 5K, but that's up in the air right now because it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
At some point, we're going to make our way to the Fan Fest. You and I are going to announce a band who's going on stage. You're wicked excited because of their name.
Excited. To be honest, I don't remember the full name, but it has the word booty in it, so it's meant to be.
I think it's Booty Vortex.
That is the best name ever. Okay. So, I'm gonna do my research on this band. I will.
I'm gonna like if they give us 2 mics, I'm gonna like build you up. And I'm gonna be like, "What's up, everybody? It's Eric and Erika from the On the Runs podcast." And I'm gonna like hype up the crowd for the band.
Excellent.
All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna feed you the mic or the line when it's your turn to say, "Booty Vortex."
You know what? I like that because it's easy and I can't screw it up.
So Booty Vortex goes on stage an hour before us, maybe 30 minutes.
Okay.
We're on stage at 6:30. So there's the Fan Fest is going to have there's a map. I'll even like post this on Instagram later in the week. There's a map of Fan Fest, and near the steps that bring you down to like Quincy Market and all that Faneuil Hall, there will be a podcast stage.
Oh, cool.
And that's where we'll be. And there's a lot going on there all weekend. There's podcast Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're doing the Saturday night and the Monday night. Non-members only will be there on Sunday. There's a few others.
See that.
Meb is going to be there on Sunday at 3:00.
That's excellent.
They asked me if I would be available to interview Meb at 3:00 on Sunday.
Is this happening?
I said, yes, I am available if you need it. They're like, we want to pencil you in because we're waiting to hear back. And I was like, I really would love if it was me and Erika, but if you just want me to do it, I understand. You don't like Erika. That's cool.
Yep.
I was their backup because the best ability is availability. Something like that. Bill Belichick said that, right?
Sure.
They texted me the other day and said, my services are not needed. It's fine. I'm a nobody. They're getting like some hot shot from a TV station or something.
But you are like a super hype guy. Like you can bring the energy. So it would have been awesome if you got the chance to do it. But now you can save some of that energy. So you'll use some on Saturday, but build it back up again so you're ready again for Monday.
I might still go on Sunday to watch the Meb thing. A couple reasons. One, I owe him a beer.
You do owe him a beer.
You know,
I owe him a beer. Let's go.
I so wanted to do this just to be like, let's go get a beer after. Like, I owe you a beer. And it would have been a nice tie-in, especially like the two of us. But I might also go just to see what this looks like so I know next year or the next time they ask me to do something like this. Or
That's
us.
Cool.
I have like so much of this is everything we do is research. I'm like, I go to the Run Expo or the New York City Marathon Expo, the Boston Marathon Expo, the Run Show. I'm doing research. Do I want a booth? Do I want to have something set up? How do I want to do it? How are they presenting a podcast or a show? How can we do it or do it better? That's always what I'm thinking. We're just like, oh, give me the free salt stick. And I'm like, yeah, grab me a salt stick too. Absolutely.
Priorities.
So Friday, that's exactly what I'm doing, actually. I'm going down Friday. I think DJ Darren Roy is going to join me for the ride.
Awesome.
We're going to get our media credentials. Hopefully, I'm going to meet our guest on today's episode, the Lotsboms. So Chris and Elena. Hopefully, I meet them on Friday, get our media creds. I hope I can get yours because you won't be there. You do have to work. You're still working currently at the moment.
Yes, I still do have a job for a couple more weeks.
So Friday, I'm going to do all that, and then I'm going to go to the podcast stage and see it. I'm going to meet the team. I'm going to meet the people I've been talking to on the phone and email and via text. And then I'm going to be out of there by like 1:30 to get the kids.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to pay for a babysitter 2 nights in a row. Right? I'm one is thank you, Mom, for watching the kids Saturday night. Because Saturday is going to be epic after we record. So back to Saturday, hanging out all day. finally make it to the podcast stage. We're going to do a show, and we're going to pull people from the crowd, but we also have friends of the pod coming who are going to come and talk, and it's going to be incredible. It looks like we have the stage for 90 minutes.
Oh my God.
And the thing is, we have to fill that 90 minutes. It's not like when we do a Millennium recording, let's talk to someone for 10, 15 minutes, and then we stop and we walk around, we find the next person, we bring them over. Like, I have Tara Pterodactyl and Lindsay on the floor pulling people. And when somebody shows up, for instance, like Dan from Team Skinny Pig, he's going to try to come.
Yeah.
He's going to be there later. When he comes, I'm like, this is what you do. You find Tara. Tara's then going to be like, I wish she had a wireless mic. She can be like, hey, guys, I have Dan here. Dan walks up on stage. After all this, we're going to go out and celebrate Saturday night. So
okay,
more details. Remember last year we went to the Sam Adams Brew House or Tap House or something.
Yep,
probably
that was right
next
to City Hall. Yep.
Right. So, I'll text Meb. I'll be like, yo, if you want that beer, we're going after the show. I'll text
Can you
Ashley,
imagine
too.
if Meb actually showed up? I don't know what I would do.
Listen, I mean, maybe they're just being nice, but I really feel like when we have guests on the podcast, like we get the emails back after, if not from them, from their people.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're like, well, you have someone else. We're like, yes, absolutely. So I feel like we put on a show or just an experience with the guests that doesn't feel like an interview. Even though Meb was really recounting his Boston stories, I hope we give that vibe. That's what we strive for.
Yeah.
Like hanging out at the bar with a beer, meeting a new friend, hearing his story. That changes.
That's how you're going to get me to open up more and be more vocal is when you give me a beer first. So maybe I'll have to stop at Sam Adams
no
before
drinking till after, but if I have to give you
Fireball.
Just to loosen me up a little bit. Yep,
right
get those
before
nerves
we
out of
record.
here. Shake them out.
And then Monday, mile 19.2 is going to be epic. Weather, knock on wood, it's looking good, right? You've been checking?
I have been checking. So it looks to be on the cooler side, which is going to be fantastic for the runners. And as far as I can see, again, knock on wood, I don't see any rain. It just looks like it may be a little bit cool. But it's way better than having it be 75 degrees in the baking sun for the later runners. So this could be an epic day.
Yeah, epic weekend. So
yes,
right now looking at Google weather, just a quick look. Saturday looks to be a high of 61 and cloudy, and it doesn't give me the 10-day. So I got to do something else here. Let's just do here.
I had to scroll a little bit over.
Boston's 10-day forecast from Wonderground, WUNDER. Never heard of this website. Don't know, but oh my God, Monday looks great. A high of 52, partly cloudy and sunny. Sunday is the rainy day, and actually it's PM rain. And if you looked at humidity, because I remember looking at this before, humidity is going to be kind of high on Sunday. That rain's going to knock it all down because humidity just like drops on Monday. I remember seeing that. So yeah,
right.
The weather looks amazing
for
Saturday and Monday. It looks incredible.
Yep, I'm manifesting the good weather for the runners on Monday.
Yeah. You just remember this, guys. If Erika's not running, it's going to be a great weather day.
I hate to say it, but that's probably the case. Oh, he's never going to let me run, you guys.
I absolutely will let you run because once you get it out of your system, you're done. You're done, son.
Oh man, you better hope I never get fast because if I qualify for this shit, I am going.
Well, we got to talk about like the cheap marathon for a second. After we'll do it in the outro because you already signed up for next year, and I got mad at you because I was like, no, you weren't supposed to sign up, and you're like, dude,
it's my one goal race for the spring.
Yeah, but I thought we had an understanding. You were only doing it this year because you already signed up before we committed to the show.
Yeah, and now I'm doing it again. So
and then
what
you slept in. You hit the snooze button too many times. You missed the early bird price. So we'll talk about that later. But we have an amazing 2 guests today on the podcast. Erika, tell everyone about today's guest.
Well, these are not lies, but we have Chris and Elena Lotsbom, who are probably, I had so much fun with this conversation. They are just so entertaining and have so many stories. And it's just so cool to learn about that side of the Boston Marathon. We've got Chris with the media side and Elena with the volunteer side. And it is just so cool to hear about the inner workings. And they're just so personable and awesome to talk to. So we had an absolute blast with this guest segment.
Yeah, it was incredible. We know a lot of people who volunteer at the Boston Marathon, and I've even talked about doing it the year you eventually run it. I'm like, no, when you run, I'm going to volunteer.
You got to
and, like,
see the
get to
different
see all
side,
the things.
yeah.
And now I got it in. But then Chris, his job is so cool, and we've been talking to Chris for a while. So this is super fun. We got them both together, which was even more incredible. They're together, if you haven't figured that out. Chris and Elena Lotsbom on the On the Runs podcast. Guys, enjoy, and we'll see you on the other side. Our next guest on the pod are two who make the magic happen around the Boston Marathon and everything going on with the BAA. They also happen to be from the greatest New England state, and we're wicked excited to welcome to our PodFam, Alaina and Chris Lotsbom. Welcome to the On the Runs podcast. What's up, guys?
Hello. Thank you for having us. We're excited.
It's Boston
Yes.
Marathon season.
Yes,
Which
it
it
is.
is.
It's our favorite time of year, and we are so excited to have you both on the podcast. Welcome to the show. I know, Chris, we've had a little bit of back and forth here and there, but this is our first time getting to meet Elena, so we're just so happy to have you. Thank you for being here.
We're
Yeah.
excited. We'll
Yeah.
give you a little sneak peek of
It's-
everything.
It's game time.
Yeah.
It is. It's race week, too. I'm wicked excited. A couple days from now, we're going to be in Boston. We're going to be getting ready. We're going to be at the Fan Fest, and we're going to be on Boylston Street and doing all the fun things. And hopefully the Bruins are in a playoff run.
Yeah. Between the Bruins and the Celtics, it's
Yeah.
going to be, and the Red Sox, of course, it's going to be an awesome sports time in Boston.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for the City of Champions. But since we kind of know Chris, when I say we, mean Erika, but we don't know you, Elena, let's get to know you first. Are you originally from New Hampshire as well?
So I'm actually from Western Mass originally. And then I moved to Boston for college, stayed there, started working at the BAA. We lived in Brookline for a couple of years, and then we decided to move up to New Hampshire.
Is that how the two of you met? Through the BAA?
Yes, indeed. We met at the BAA.
Oh, I love a good love story.
Yeah, very romantic. Yeah.
The BAA, was it like a secret relationship for a while? It's like we work together, we can't tell anyone. Or was it pretty obvious that Chris was like, I really like her, and what do you know about her? Help me out.
We tried to keep it cool for a little bit, but then when we both started bringing the same lunches to work every day, that's what kind of
That's so cute.
showed everyone that we were dating.
Driving in together or driving in right after each other. And all
Yeah.
Well,
that.
exactly.
Definitely.
I'd linger outside for a little, a few minutes, and then we'd come inside.
5
Made it
minutes
very
enough,
awkward.
or we could
Yeah.
Right. So my wife, we've been married for a while. We have a few kids now. We were dating and we weren't even living together at the time, but I forwarded her an email because she was complaining about work. I say, hey, get a job where I work. 3 months later, she's working with me, and I'm like, oh, what did I do? And this
Yeah.
guy walks by the hallway, and he says, I see you coming in and out with her, and you're leaving with her. And I'm like, yep.
Yep. It's fun.
I think it was around race weekend 2018
Yeah.
when I think it became more obvious to everybody that we were dating.
I love it.
2018, a good year.
Yeah. A very rainy year. Yeah.
So, Chris, are you originally from New Hampshire then? Or is this like you just knew you had to come up to the best state in New England?
Yeah, well, all credit to Elena for getting up to here in Amherst. I'm originally from Walpole, Mass, but Elena's sister lives in Bedford, New Hampshire, and we were coming up here pretty often. And 2-3 years ago, decided, hey, let's move up here. The
It's a
commute to
beautiful
Boston
place.
isn't too bad. We're used to it by now.
Mhm.
But yeah, we love the area, and are close to Elena's sister and our brother-in-law and our nephew and niece. So yeah, really, really love the area.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's perfect. You're like sandwiched right in between me and Eric. So I'm down in Nashua, but I work in Amherst, and then Eric's in Manchester. So we're right like
There you
smack in
go.
the middle.
In a little triangle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll call it a little running triangle. We'll have
Yeah.
to get together one time. We realized Troy Hoyt, a couple weeks ago, he was on the podcast. We realized that he lives just down the road from Erika.
No,
There you go. New Hampshire, baby. Let's go.
Well,
Let's go.
we've been talking up the Granite State so much in our office that Scott Stover, our CMO, now lives in Manchester. So
Beautiful.
there's a big BAA contingent here
Yeah.
in the Granite State.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, we're going to just move the headquarters up
Right?
here.
That would be
that's-
convenient.
That's what we're going to do. The two of you are also new parents to, I think she's one now, a beautiful
Mhm.
Natalie Rose.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
She arrived 6 weeks before the marathon last year. So I was on maternity leave for the marathon last year, which was kind of fun. I got to go on race day. I brought her right down to the finish line.
Oh.
And, we just get to have like a fun day and enjoy marathon days. So that was cool. But
Yeah.
Chris had to go back.
Beautiful.
It was definitely unique having a newborn right before the marathon. The month before the marathon is a little bit of madness, already. But add in a newborn, and but we wouldn't have it any other way. She was, I think she might be the youngest baby to experience that marathon, thrill at
I
6
love
weeks.
it. It's starting her early.
She had a credential too, like an official credential
Yeah.
That is
for the
gotta
gotta
year.
be
bib.
the cutest thing.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
had a credential and a bib. Yeah, our team, the BA team is really like a family, and they surprised us with the bib and credential, and it's pretty special. She has a
That
lot
is
of
the
aunts
cutest
and
thing.
uncles that are on the BA staff.
Yeah. She's
That's
already
awesome.
been to like a million BAA races and events as well. She's just like, she's a staple now. She's a little mascot, maybe.
Yeah.
Keep it coming. She's gonna grow up to be a runner. She'll be
Oh,
running
yeah.
those races
Yeah.
in no time.
Yeah. She doesn't like running. We'll see. Yeah.
Well, she's just crawling right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun in 18, 20 years to see a before and after photo at the finish line, when she was 6
Mhm.
weeks old to when she's a Boston Marathon finisher.
Oh yeah.
Someday. That's the
Yeah.
dream for us.
It's funny. We both have photos of ourselves around the marathon, especially the finish line, growing up, and to pass that tradition on to Natalie is kind of cool.
That
is
is
cool.
so cool. Is it too early to dig into how you guys got started with the BAA? Because I feel like that's a really good transition. Like if you guys
Yeah.
were growing up in the area, checking out the finish line, all that good stuff. Like where did you first get introduced to the BAA?
You
You
want to start?
You
Or
go
do I-
first
All
because
right.
you started first. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say I don't come from a family of runners, but every marathon Monday it was a tradition. We'd go out to the course, usually in Framingham or Ashland, sometimes to the finish, and watch the marathon. And it was really a family tradition. We'd watch the entire race, maybe catch the end on TV, and then there was always the carnival in town in Walpole. Because it's spring vacation in Massachusetts during race week. So I just love the marathon, and I ran in high school, ran in college, started as a journalist, and was lucky enough to intern at the BAA way back in 2011 and 2012, and joined the staff shortly thereafter, and have been the BAA ever since. So, I just love the sport, love the BAA, and especially its mission, and being part of, a unique event in the Boston Marathon, plus all the other events that we do throughout the year. It's pretty cool, and being able to do it next to my wife is even more special.
Absolutely.
What were you doing before? Like, did you go to college in Boston? Or
Yeah.
were you like was this the goal to try to work in like sports in a way? This is sports, it's running, it's not major league sports, but it is major league to us.
It's pretty major.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first passion was writing, and I worked for Race Results Weekly, which was a small news publication that covers professional distance running. And I went to school in Ithaca, New York, Ithaca College, but would come back for the marathon even when I was in college because I just loved the event and loved to cover it. I started working for Race Results Weekly when I was a freshman in college and worked for 10 years with Race Results Weekly, and they helped connect me with the BAA very early on, and forever grateful for that opportunity. But now I'm on the other side managing the media relations and communications for the BAA. So, but yeah, it was always my goal to work in sports, and very early on, I realized running was my passion. It's a really, niche industry, or niche, not everybody goes to college wanting to, there were a lot of people who wanted to work in MLB or NFL in my class, but I always had my eye on running. So
I love it.
Yeah, we always joke that like Chris is like really grown up at the BAA because you started here when you were like kind of like a dweeby college kid, and now you're like grown up, married, have a kid. Like it's just like so crazy the amount of phases you've been through while you've been at the
Absolutely.
BAA.
Yeah,
Evolution of Chris.
when I started, I had long hair, and
Oh, no way.
that,
Interesting look.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I always joke that my first like job as an intern was dusting the archive cases. We have
Got
our
started.
historical archives, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Like dusting off Bill Rogers' shoes, or
Oh my God.
like
History.
Yeah, exactly. I love that stuff. So
Nobody's going to understand this except for me and Chris. But Chris, what was Steve Letart's first job at Hendrick Motorsports?
I don't know.
He swept the floors.
Shop floors?
Yes.
I love that.
And then he
Just
worked his
getting
way
in
to the
door,
top.
right? You got to start
Basically,
somewhere.
Yeah. And the funny thing now is like, it's kind of come full circle. I love the history of the sport and the history of the Boston Marathon especially. And now I'm like dubbed the office historian in a way. Like whenever anybody needs like a random fact, they come to me. So I wear that with a badge of honor.
You should.
That's cool. I hope you give us some cool facts coming up soon. But that's really cool to see that you've been with him for so long. And I kind of have always said, I grew up with like 4 TV channels. And so I only saw a few things, and one every year was like the Boston Marathon on like WBZ channel 4 or 5 or something, right?
Yep.
And then I got UPN 38, and I could watch like half the Bruins games. I wasn't cool and didn't have cable or satellite or anything.
On Fridays. Red Sox on Fridays were on UPN 38. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that was a big thing. Even in New Hampshire, you always heard, I would not have known there were marathons in other cities. I just thought it was the Boston Marathon. And that's what happened growing up as a kid in New England, I think.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, it's such a unique event that brings the community together and brings the community from throughout New England, really around the world. And but it does have, while it is a major race that attracts runners from around the world, I think at its heart, it is a local race, that it's everybody comes out, they pass on traditions from generation to generation going to the marathon. And I know a lot of volunteers have their their generational stories or that really bring the race home. We joke that a lot of people have a sense of ownership of the marathon. It's a really cool thing that people take so much pride in, just whether it's volunteering or running or spectating. They all feel a sense of ownership, which is really, really cool, to be a part of. So.
I agree. Elena, why don't we talk about how you got started with the BAA?
Yeah, so I started in youth track at the age of 5. So running has definitely been a part of my life for a very long time. Though I will say I'm not fast and never really planned to be fast.
You don't have to be. That's the beauty of running.
Exactly. Like I do it for fun. My whole family's been very into track and field and road races for a very long time. So we would always come to the marathon growing up every year on April vacation as well, and hang out and watch the marathon on Boylston Street. A lot of really fun memories growing up. And I did cross country and track through high school. But once I got to college, I didn't keep competing, but I really missed, running. So I decided to try some marathons, as you do as a college kid. I was like, why not? Let's go.
I don't remember doing that.
Yeah. And it was kind of a crazy choice. But I ran Boston when I was a senior. So like senior spring, I was at Emerson College, and I ran the marathon that year. And I don't know, I don't really recommend running marathons as a senior in college because like I wasn't super dedicated to my training. I ran like the slowest marathon of my life still. But it was such a cool experience to finally be able to run it after seeing it for so many years. And then, I got started working in the events world and nonprofits, and I really kind of loved that. And I just applied for the job online when it opened up for volunteer coordinator for the BAA. Applied online, back in 2017 and started in October of 2017. And now I've been here for 8.5 years now and haven't looked back.
That's amazing.
If you started in October 2017, your first marathon was that 2018, the cold wind, the rain.
Been there.
That must have been
commiserate.
Just wild for you as your first.
It was insane.
Let's dive into your job a little bit. So what I think is cool about having the two of you on is a lot of our listeners are going to get to hear a lot that goes on behind the scenes at
Oh,
the
yeah.
BAA and the Boston Marathon. So you manage all the volunteers, like I don't even know. You got to tell me. All I know is Erika's volunteered before, and
Which
so
I
she has
love.
a little bit of experience here and might know a little bit what you're talking about. But I have no clue.
Yeah.
So fill me in, spare no details about what you do with the BAA.
Definitely. So my title is Director of Volunteers and Community Programs. And our volunteer program is about 11,000 people annually. Most of those are for the Boston Marathon. We have about 10,000 throughout Boston Marathon race weekend.
Wow.
We've already had assignments actually already started. Like last week, we had bib stuffing for the 5K, and we had 30 volunteers come out to support that. And so volunteers really touch every single aspect of the event. So I need to know the nitty gritty details of like literally every single thing happening out there. So I know what time the volunteers need to arrive, where they're going to check in, like get all their, I have to pack all the jackets with our team out there in the warehouse. So the jacket is a very coveted part of being a Boston Marathon volunteer. We have to pack all of those, pack all the credentials. So that's like a very labor intensive couple of weeks for us. We're like kind of in the home stretch there this next week. So that's great. But yeah, it's just a team of 2 full-time managing the volunteer program. So it's myself and the volunteer program manager, Meg Donnelly. So we are handling customer service for 10,000 people on a daily basis. And there's all sorts of fun questions that they all ask. The volunteers are amazing, though. We are so lucky that we actually get more volunteers than we can place who apply. This year we had to turn away 2,500 people from volunteering.
Wow.
Which is crazy and like it's a problem, but at the same time, like we're lucky to have that problem, because we don't have to be super worried about recruitment every year, and we just have a great base of volunteers who keep coming back year after year after year, and it's amazing.
The longest tenured volunteer is hitting 50 years of volunteering this year.
That is incredible. I think I want to say I saw that in one of the emails that go out, because I get them monthly, and it's kind of cool to just scroll through and there's usually a volunteer spotlight. So 50 years, that is just absolutely incredible. And like you were saying, I feel like you can be super proud of that. Like that's some ownership right there of the Boston Marathon.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's truly amazing, how many people have made this just like an annual family tradition. And we have one of my favorite events every year that we do outside of the marathon is the 30-year volunteer luncheon. And we honor everyone who's hit 30 years at the marathon. And the stories that those people share are so incredible. And, now we've even had like parents and children who have hit 30 years together.
Oh, wow.
So it's really like a generational story. And, people really make this a huge part of their lives. So we're really grateful for all the volunteers and everything they do for us.
Let's talk a little bit about the whole volunteer process. So if someone's listening who's never volunteered and they want to, how do they go about that? When do they go about that? Like there has to be months and months of thought process here and planning for you. It's not just like sign up and then next week's the race and I'm going to put you to this place. Like how do you even decide where all these volunteers go?
Yeah, no, it's funny because like this time of year, we definitely do get people emailing in being like, hey, can I still volunteer? We're like, no, that process ended months ago. Like, thank you so much for your interest. But
Damn, I was going to ask you. I thought I had an in.
Yeah.
You can volunteer on my team in the media center.
I love it.
He doesn't listen to deadlines. Yeah. No, we start preparing for volunteer registration starting in October. And then we open volunteer registration in December. And that's when people have until early February to apply, and that's the deadline. And then it takes us about a full month to place everybody. We do have a pretty strong like group recruitment model where, there's certain groups that fill certain areas, and it's kind of up to the leaders of those group who they want to, bring into their group each year. And then we have individual applications as well. So it's just this like big puzzle piece that it takes us a full month to put together. And, we try to honor people who have years of service first, but that doesn't mean that there's no space if you've never volunteered before. It's just like, we can't put you in any random position, but there are spaces usually in Hopkinton and then the finish line and on race weekend as well, where we can get new people in. My recommendation too for people who really want a Boston Marathon volunteer position is to also try volunteering at some of our other events, because those aren't quite as
and then you get your foot in the door.
Yeah, you get your foot in the door and work your way up the system.
Who would have thought working for free would have been so hard to do?
Exactly. It's truly mind-blowing.
It's really cool to see some of those longtime volunteers wear their like favorite jacket, or they'll have their credential with all their volunteer pins on, and
They
like,
take so much pride in it.
Oh, yeah, they do.
It is really cool.
Yeah, and they have like closets full of Boston Marathon jackets that they are really proud of. Yeah.
It's the next best thing to getting the actual finisher jacket. So you wear it as a badge of honor because you know you're helping out so many people on race day, even just to help out with race like the race day, because you know it's not going to happen with all these volunteers.
Absolutely. That's what I always say is that like if we were all to just like not show up for work on marathon day, the race would still happen because the volunteers are so good and they know exactly what they're doing, and you know they'll just take it and run with it, and it'll still be a fantastic day.
Absolutely.
But we'll be there.
We'll be there. Yeah.
Well, unless there's a baby and you're on maternity leave, and then you'll be like, I'm going to enjoy this time off. Like, you planned it right.
It was pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah, you planned it right. My wife was like, oh, we should have waited 3 more months. It would have had all summer off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about 2 different kind of volunteers. I want to talk about the volunteers that work at like the mile 2.2 water station. That's where Erika worked. And then the ones who work at the finish line. So let's start with the water station. Like, who manages and tells them what to do? There's only 2 of you on your team.
Yeah.
You both can't be everywhere at once. So I'm imagining there's like a volunteer lead, and then there's like someone who trains the newbies, how like this is how you pour water or lay it out. Like Erika sent me pictures. You have it down to a science.
They do.
Oh yeah. It is definitely very organized, and you know, we require that of our volunteers. We're like, you got to be organized, otherwise, you know, you got to work harder. But yeah, for each position we have a team captain who is usually a volunteer, and that's like their leadership role. So for something like a hydration station, we actually have 2 team captains and 2 station leads per station, and those are the people who are really like running the show for each water station, and that goes all the way down the course. For each hydration station, there's that leadership model, and then you know, we're making sure that they're hitting their numbers volunteer wise, you know, getting all the volunteer communications out so you know where to go on race day, what time you're supposed to check in, all of that. But then it's really in the team captain's hands on race day. And then, you know, there's also the course team who are, you know, some of our staff, but also some consultants who are helping like with the logistical details of those areas. So we call those kind of different like area leads who are kind of educating the volunteers on the nitty-gritty details. But we do a big call with like the team captains of each area. For some groups, it's once a month leading up to the marathon starting in January. For others, it's just once. But yeah, those team captains are really like our eyes and ears on race day, and they're the ones who are running the show. And so that's a really special group of volunteers. It's about 230 team captains on race weekend, and they are truly incredible. And you know, they're tough too. Like they're not just gonna be like, oh, like have a nice time volunteering and yay, it's all like unicorns and rainbows. Like, no, they're gonna follow the rules, which we appreciate, but it can still be fun too.
Yeah. And that's why each water station or each section of the course looks so uniform when you're going down the course, that they know how far to space out the tables. They know, how long it takes to, refill all the cups or whatever it is, it's
We always station our little camp at mile 19.2.
Nice.
Just less than a quarter mile up from us is that mile 19 water station, aid station, whatever you call it. And I remember walking up to find someone. I think it was the year Tara Pterodactyl was running, Erika, when she actually had like a broken back or something. So she was way in the back. And I would just remember watching everyone at that aid station, the water station, just how efficient they were, how it looked like a fine-tuned machine. Choreography was on point. And then the cleanup. Like they're all just like working, and I was just like, wow, look at these guys go. And we can't even keep we did leave with a clean area, but it's like, how do we keep our little table clean? Like they had it down to a science. I was so impressed.
Yeah, no, it takes a whole lot of them, and it's just kind of a smooth operation once they get rolling each year. And we're lucky that there is a lot of institutional knowledge of the people who keep coming back year after year, pass that on to others. So we're never like starting from scratch anywhere. Like there's always someone who has seen how things go in each area along the course.
Yeah. I can attest to the organization that you guys put together, because in addition to the water stop that I've done, I've only done that once, but I was an event marshal for a couple of years.
Oh, nice.
So not only did the emails, you guys spell everything out. You be here at this time. We want you in this auditorium. And then we're like sitting and they're doing like a presentation kind of, and they're like, all right, if you have this on your credential, you got to go to this place, and they tell you exactly what to say. So one of my jobs was to literally just stand on a street corner, which was very helpful though, because after the race, people were like, where do I find like the family meeting area? So I was just like directing traffic basically, but it was so helpful because people are just so tired from running this race. They're trying to find their family. And I'm just like, all right, you guys do this. And oh, you have a question. If I don't know it, I'm going to go ask this guy because this guy knows. And it literally was just so absolutely organized, and whatever you guys do behind the scenes makes it easy for them to just pass on the knowledge, and it just translates so well. So whatever you're doing, keep it up.
And I'm glad that people actually read the emails. So
I'm one of those sticklers who's like, okay, what do I do? If I don't know the parking situation, I'm not going. So I made sure to know every detail.
We love spelling out every detail, and I'm always like, are people reading this? I don't know, but I know our volunteers do read it.
Erika reads even the entire newsletter, because I opened up the newsletter once, I'm reading it, and then I went about halfway, and then Erika says something to me later that day. Did you see Chris was in the newsletter? I go, no. She goes, yeah, you got to go all the way to the bottom. Like, keep reading. And I was like, no way, it was super cool.
I love running. I love reading about running. And that's like, especially just being so close to home, it's all relevant. So
let me just set the record straight that I did not choose to feature myself in my own newsletter. No, that was a colleague who chose
you got nominated.
Yeah, I got nominated. So
well deserved.
That wasn't the colleague who also is your roommate.
No. But it's funny you say that you read every bit of the email, because the communications is something that we collaborate on. Like Elena and Meg will put together the shell of the email, and I'll look at it from a communication standpoint, or how can we make this clearer, or how can we make sure that everybody knows exactly what to expect come race day.
I'm laughing because I remember when I first started, I would draft up volunteer communications and have him proofread them. And he would ask me to print them out, and he'd use a red pen and go through it and make edits. And I was like, what? Really?
Sometimes it works out better that way. You can just see things, and then it feels better to just actually cross stuff out.
And he made sure to cross things out. Yeah.
No.
Wow. But what a way to get your foot in the door, Chris.
Yeah.
Right?
That was him flirting. Yeah.
Let's go to the coffee shop and talk about this.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Elena, when you got the job, was that this director role, or were you another scale of volunteer role and moved your way up?
Yeah, no, I came in at the coordinator level under Mary Miller, who was our manager of volunteers at the time that I reported to. And then, kind of just worked my way up. And I think last year is when I was promoted to the director role. So yeah, it's just been a fun journey to kind of see it from every level throughout the years. Now I'm not spending quite as much time in the weeds of the volunteer inbox answering every little question, but I still know the answer to every little question. Yep. And I think it's really cool that actually a lot of the people who have worked in the volunteer program have gone on to work in roles that are still at the BAA. A lot of us are still here that have been here throughout the last 8 years. And it's just the best way to get to learn every single aspect of the event is working in the volunteer program. And you just have to know everything. So yeah, it's been a fun journey.
And you got promoted when you had a baby, not promoted.
Yeah.
So hanging out at the VIP tent really pays off.
1 year. Take 1 year off.
I love it. All right. So if there's only 2 of you on your team, and there's tens of thousands of volunteers, and there's a marathon that is point to point, you can't be everywhere at once, right?
Nope.
So where are you on race day? What are your duties and roles on that day?
Yeah. So I always joke that Chris gets to do the fun stuff and be at the finish line, and he's on the news screen, and everyone's texting me I saw your husband on TV. I'm in a basement and I'm checking in volunteers for hours. Though this year I got upgraded. We have windows. We're upstairs. We're not in a basement anymore. So I'm super excited about that.
Moving on up.
Yeah, but I'm in the finish area doing volunteer check-in. And we do that in a hotel. So yeah, we got a nice fun room this year, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Excellent.
But then you get outside of there after,
I do.
once the check-ins.
Once all the volunteers have checked in, I get out there and I do laps and kind of just like take pictures of everything happening out there. Like once everyone's checked in, I should have a pretty smooth race day usually, and just kind of like, keeping my eyes and ears open for what's happening, but relatively chill after that point of, checking in a couple thousand people in the span of a couple hours. So yeah.
What time does your day start on race day? I'm sure it's very early.
That's a good question.
And do you commute from New Hampshire on race day?
No.
Thank gosh.
Yeah, we're in Boston for the weekend, which is great because we have a lot of early call times. I'm usually like in the hotel space by 5 a.m., but like there's not a lot of sleep the night before the marathon because like we're just like so amped up that like it's hard to sleep. And he's always up earlier because he has to. I don't know what you're even doing. But we're up early. I'm like in this check-in space by 5 a.m. But that's honestly like one of my later days of the weekend too. Like the 5K is way early. So, yeah.
Are you more of a morning person or a night owl? Because I'm
a night owl.
Oh my God! So it's making me like I'm cringy just because I'm like, how do you function?
Yeah, it's hard. But the adrenaline kicks in on race weekend and race days in general. Like you just kind of you're like, okay, here we go. Let's do it.
There's always caffeine.
A lot of caffeine.
Yeah.
A lot of caffeine.
No, it like the alarm will go off at like 3:30 on Marathon Monday, and we'll jump up, or at least I'll jump out of bed, and like I'm ready to roll. Like we work all year for this, so
it's his like cool. Christmas day. Like it's fun for me too, but he has a little more pep to his step first thing in the morning than I do.
You work on this for longer than a year because Dave McGilvery told us 14 months of planning goes into every marathon.
Yeah, we already had to place a jacket order for next year. So
that's so crazy.
I hope it's a good color.
Yeah, we'll see. I find out when I open the box.
I saw our preview, and if it's the color that I saw, it's going to be a cool one.
Yeah.
I think people will rate it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Erika has this local race she loves so much called the Goffstown Gallop. And every year she's pleading for her color. What is it, Erika? Like what
purple.
Shade of purple?
I love purple. That's my favorite color too.
Yep. And I always want a purple. And it's usually like a fun, bright neon color. But then sometimes it's like, wasn't it tan one year? I'm like, what, tan? Yeah. Like, what are you doing with
Sad
this?
beige.
I think it was called nude.
But I'm like, come on, give me a purple.
Yeah. Was this the volunteer jacket last year? Or was it the media jacket last year?
I think it was volunteer. It was purple, which I was excited about.
Yeah. But that's the question we get asked the most, I think, is what color is the volunteer jacket's going to be? I get asked what color is the media jacket's going to be. And it's like,
who picks the color schemes? Like, who gets to pick the finisher jacket? Like, is that a Dave McGilvery thing? Or like, I wanted that's a
we could do a vote on Instagram. We could just do a poll and have everyone pick if you want.
Right?
Yeah. Choose it here.
It's usually a combination of Adidas and the BAA, and they'll show us well in advance what color palette is trending, I guess.
Gotta go with the trends.
Yeah, our corporate partnerships need. But I will say that traditionally on anniversary years, every 5 years, you'll see the blue and yellow, come back strong. So this year it's the 130th Boston Marathon, so you'll see a lot of that blue and yellow.
The volunteer jackets, they literally look like Minions, which I love that movie. So I'm like really excited about it.
Yeah, the jackets are pretty cool.
Yeah,
they're
awesome.
snazzy.
That's awesome. Well, Elena, I'm going to prep you for something I'm going to ask you later.
Okay.
We love a good Code Brown story, and a Code Brown story, that has to do with volunteering maybe, is any oh crap moment. I'll give you a little clue. Dave McGilvery gave us one when he got locked in a porta potty and he dropped his radio. That's a classic Code Brown that you can laugh about it later. So I'll give you some time to think about that.
Okay.
But I want to hear from Chris. I want to hear about your job and about the things you do and the things that happen behind the scenes that not everybody sees.
Where do we begin? So in the communications world, it's really a team effort. We handle media relations. We handle in the lead up to the marathon, all of the emailing, the website, social media, any external messaging that goes out to participants or to fans or spectators comes through the communications team in one way, shape, or form. So you talked about the newsletters, Erika. Right now we're making sure that all of our participant newsletters and everybody is coming to Boston knowing exactly what to expect, whether you're a runner, a volunteer, a spectator, how to make the most of your Boston Marathon experience. That's our really main job and focus
Perfect.
in race week.
You're
So
making all the planners very happy.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Elena knows especially as it comes to race week, everything we want to plan as much as we can so that there's fewer curveballs that we have to deal with on race day.
Less
Fewer
stress.
curveballs, the better. Yeah. There always will be, curveballs, but it's our job to do, to deal with those as best as we can. So.
Now, one of the things we talked about before was there's like 35,000 runners. So there's 35,000 stories out there, people with their own story. And something we all love to do is to get those stories out. And I remember when I did Ironmans and stuff, they would have this little text space and it would say like, write your story. And I'd be like, I don't even know what my story is. But do those come across your feed and do you like figure out, okay, how do I get this out? Or this story is special and I want to, like, everyone's story is special, but some of them just really pop. For instance, we have a really good friend. We call him Mo, but he's Maurice the Running Panda. And we feel like his story gets out quite a bit where now this year, those flags on the light posts in Boston have him on it. So like these stories get out there and do they come across like your email and your eyes?
Yeah, they come our way in many different ways. We do, ask runners if they have a story to email it to us or share it with us on social. So that's one way. Through our official charity program, there's so many heartwarming stories for runners who are, raising funds and running for a cause, bigger than a PB or a medal. Social media will, we'll see some that come across our social channels and we make note like, oh, that's a really cool, really great one. And then there's word of mouth, I can probably count on, two hands the amount of stories that come through staff or like, hey, I saw this on social and I thought you'd be interested in. And some of those turn out to be like the best, most compelling stories that are told over race weekend. So
like someone in your team sees it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Pass it along.
We have 42 people on staff. And I feel like I say it to everybody, like if you see anything that's really unique or cool or special, like send it our way and, and we'll dive deeper or try to showcase it in one way, shape or form. So, it's a little bit of, many different ways these stories come to us, but it is hard to pick which ones to feature. There's only so much space in our program or on our social channels with our media partners. So, there's unfortunately not all 35,000 stories are going to be told each year, and that's just the runners. There's 10,000 volunteers who many of them have really, really cool stories as well. So, but it's our job to really showcase and shine a spotlight as best we can on some of the stories. And some of them we won't know until after race day, which is kind of cool. There's stories that are folks that fly under the radar and then come race day, they have this really compelling story that gets out, and that's, that we get to celebrate at post race. So
I love that too. I remember one of the newsletters actually had somebody we had on the podcast before. His name is Ben Crosby. So he goes by A Better Ben. And I sent it to Erika. I'm like, oh my God, check it out. Like Ben's story. It's like, it's getting out there again.
Ben's run the distance million. I think one of our colleagues, Rich Brothers, followed him on social or, kind of got hooked to his story. And that's how we learned about it, or that's how we connected. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, we're all like nerds for the marathon, though. That like when we're scrolling social media at nighttime, it's just like serving us marathon content over and over again. We're all like, "Oh, this is a cool story," and it's like we can't like ever escape from it in a great way. But we're all like, "Oh, this is a good one. Send it."
That's what the algorithm is good for.
Oh, absolutely.
It feeds you the good stuff. We have a lot of friends who, I love that a lot of the local stories are highlighted. In New England, WMUR goes out and they find people too, and all the Boston channels, even like Portland, Maine, or Connecticut, Rhode Island. Listen, someone from California, they're awesome. They got a good story too. But I love the local connection, and it gives Boston that. I know we're from New Hampshire, but Boston's our hometown. It's our sports team. And it gives us that hometown feel and that hometown race. And I always joke, oh, yeah, we have this little marathon called the Boston Marathon. Not a big deal.
The Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
It's really unique in that sense that like I said before, the community takes so much pride and so much, like, nowhere else does a marathon bring everybody together, and it really takes on a holiday atmosphere. Like New York is great, Chicago is great, but Boston, I think, is something unique that it's like, it really is a holiday.
In our
it's
very
like a holiday.
Unbiased opinion.
I'm with you. And I've said this many times on the pod. It's on record. I've only run the New York City Marathon this past year. And my thought was, I don't know how any race could ever beat it. But I think Boston is the only one that could possibly do it. I need to experience it from that side one day. I have no plans on doing it soon. I
Yeah.
like to ski during the winter, not train during the winter. But this race, it's the oldest marathon of all time.
Yeah. Oldest annual, 130 years in a row, which is
Yeah.
really, really cool that to be part of something that was here well before any of us, and knock on wood will be here well after us, you know.
Yeah,
And
will.
Certainly hope
we,
so.
yeah, we always say in the office that we're stewards of the event. You know, how can we be the best ambassadors and take, bring the event, a step forward or improve it by that much so that the next generation, has an even better Boston Marathon experience.
Yeah,
I'm with you
continue
there.
the legacy. You got to continue the legacy. And you guys are
Yeah.
doing a wonderful job perpetuating it ever forward. I love it.
Well, we're really excited for this year. Like, this making every year special in its own unique way. That's it's really
speaking
neat.
about this year, let's get to know a little bit more, not just what you do on race day, but all week, because you're media, you're communications, right? So all week coming up in a couple of days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, what is a day in Chris's life?
Gosh, so depends on the day. Sometimes it's a 3:30 wake up call. Sometimes it's a 4 or 5 a.m. But we'll have press conferences. On Friday, we have our pro athlete press conference and our public safety press conference, as well as the expo opens and fan fest. So Friday is, I'd say, when it really gets busy. Saturday is the 5K, the invitational mile, our youth mile, which is new this year. Sunday usually is a little bit quieter, more production meetings, fine tuning things, just making sure that all systems are go and there's no, fire drills or anything that needs to be handled last minute. And then Monday is the big show. I know that was a really quick synopsis, but I could probably take an hour to go through each day, each step of the day. But Monday is really fun. It, like I said, it starts at 3:30. We'll get our media center all prepped. It should be all ready to go and smooth. Just opens at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. We're at the main hotel, and we're making sure that all the athletes are ready. And when the pros board the bus, they get a special clap out from the BA staff, and many at the hotel. We form kind of a tunnel and cheer all the athletes as they walk their way to the buses, which is a really cool moment to like stop and pause and remember somebody who's walking by is gonna, in a couple hours time be a Boston Marathon champion. And then from there, my day goes to making sure that our broadcast partners are all set to go. I'm very involved in our ESPN and WCVB and our World Feed broadcast team. And then it's out to the finish to make sure that our photographers and media who are out there are all stationed and ready to go. And when the champions come through, when the Grand Marshal comes through, I'll be there making sure that the photo tight pool, the handful of photographers who are right there on the ground are, playing by the rules and not getting in the way or anything, and making sure that when our champions cross, the choreography is, to a point, making sure that they can celebrate and that the media gets what they need, that we get the winning shots with the trophy, everything like that. So from there, it goes to press conferences and a whole host of other things. So, but it's a busy day. It's a lot, kind of where Elena is checking folks in. I'm kind of going from place to base, making sure that our team is, rocking and rolling. So
Yeah, the finish line protocol is like pretty intense too. Like it's a very like choreographed sequence, and you got to be like buttoned up over there, and it's all on camera.
Yeah.
So
I think that's
there's a reason why I'm not over there.
You can handle it. I believe in you.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that maybe folks don't, as much as you can script a live sporting event, we have it down to the minute as far as, okay, if the champion is expected at this time, 30 seconds later, this is happening. A minute later, this is happening, so that there's no surprises as far as TV knows when they're going to get their interview with the champion. The champion gets time with their family, and they get time to
Breathe.
clean up if they need, or breathe.
Yeah.
Take a sip of water. But to Elena's point, it's all very, when the champions come through, it's very pre-programmed, so that it's very important that everybody around there is on the same page, so that it looks very clean and crisp and doesn't look like we're running around with our heads cut off kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Very organized.
yeah.
choreographed is a great word you used. I know
Yeah.
that from my NASCAR days when I was changing tires. It was a choreography. It was this beautiful dance. And something I also remember when we'd go to Victory Lane was all the photographers and the media and the hat dance and everything. How
Yep.
many photographers do you have to manage there? Because they all want that perfect shot. Like, are they all fighting over getting the middle, or do you have to pick and choose? Does seniority come
Yeah.
into play here?
Well, we have around 500 media credentials that are distributed on around the Boston Marathon, and we can only accommodate, because of the size of the road and the logistics, only a handful that are down there on the finish line. So
Mhm.
we have about a dozen who are down on the finish line. We have maybe 50 or so that are up above on the photo bridge. And to your point, to make sure that everybody gets that shot, that perfect shot, we have choreographed for the champions when they pose with the trophy. They're looking straight ahead. They're looking up to the right. They're looking up to the left. They're making sure that every photographer or videographer who's in that finish area is getting that shot that they can use. So we do our best to accommodate and kind of have that rundown for each of the champions. You know, they only get one shot to run through the finish line. So trying to make sure that, each photographer or each outlet has their own space with a clear view of the finish is really important. Because that's a moment you can't run back and get a second take. So, but yeah, those are the kind of things that in the weeks and months leading up, everything is kind of all those nitty gritty details, whether it's, seating charts, if you will, for the photo bridge, so that the outlets know exactly where they're going to be on race,
Right.
so that they can prepare to get that money shot. Yeah, all of that stuff is taken care of well in advance, so that come race day, folks know what to expect. But
You got this all figured out for the winner. But what about the person who finishes second, third, fourth? Do they have protocol, or do the photographers have protocol for those ones too? Is it the
Yep.
same, different? How's that flow?
No, it's different. So when you're watching the marathon broadcast, the winner will finish on, we call it runner left. So if you're a runner coming down the street, they'll finish on the left-hand side. Everybody else will finish on the right-hand side until all of the ceremonies are complete. So that champion gets pushed to the left side. If it's a close race, they'll send the champion and, or whoever the folks are battling for that top spot.
For the photo finish we're going to see in a few days.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Three-way photo finish.
I would
Yeah.
love that. I would absolutely love that. Mary Kate Shea does an awesome job putting together our pro fields. That it seems like more often than not, it's a tight finish. But yeah, and all the pro athletes know in advance where to go or what to expect coming down that finish stretch. We have a technical meeting, so it shouldn't be new for the folks working down near the finish line. It shouldn't be new for the athletes who are, finishing and giving their all. We try to, no stone unturned, that we're trying to plan for every little scenario.
And then what happens when the masses come through? Is there a regime change
Yeah.
where you're like, all right, next round of photographers, let's go?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's some photographers who are really shooting the professional athletes only, and then there's others who want those emotional shots throughout the day. And yeah, that's where it's our job from a media relations standpoint to kind of tap in or tap out. Okay, you've got if you're all down there, now we can bring the next set of folks down, so it never gets too crowded.
Gotcha.
But everybody wants to be down the finish line. We can't accommodate everybody. Even we tell our staff, everybody,
Yeah, we don't all get finish line credentials.
No,
Yeah, you have to have a job that requires you to be on the finish line to be there.
You need to be working. If you're standing
Or a
around,
baby.
Or a baby.
Well, yeah. If you're standing around doing nothing and you're caught on TV, then you'll hear it that you're not supposed to be in there.
Busted.
Yeah, that's why there's a couple rules down to the finish. You should always be smiling. You should always have a role, or be doing your role. Always hot mics, so don't say anything that you don't want to get out there. So.
Well, I hear that the photo bridge is a coveted spot because New Hampshire's very own Allie Feller gets to do some announcing up there, and that is the place to be. So how does one get to be on the photo bridge? That's so exciting.
Yeah, it depends on your role,
Erika, they apply for a media credential. And Chris sent us the email. We have to do it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's not too late. It's not too late. Yeah, it depends on your role. So if you're a media, and you're a photographer or videographer, and your specific role involves the finish, you'll get up there. Then there's a lot of operational folks. So Allie is one of our finish line announcers. So she'll be bringing the energy. The announcer's booth is up there on the photo bridge. We've got our timers. We've got, video and PA system, audio. So it's a blend of working media and also race operations folks up there. But it is a really cool, vantage point.
I have to say that the pictures that the runners get, like I guess regular runners get from that photo bridge, that is the iconic one where everybody's just raising their arms and like that is the best picture with the finish line like right below you.
If you're running Boston or if you're running any race out there, do not touch your watch when you're going to the finish line. The number one thing we tell everybody, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of timing equipment that's invested. We'll get your time. Enjoy the moment. Look up, smile for the cameras. We'll get your result. You'll get it, down to a second. Don't worry.
Is the perfect piece of advice. Yes.
Yeah.
Have you run a race with your daughter yet, like the running stroller?
I did.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
That's right.
I ran our local Amherst Turkey Trot, the Trot Off Your Turkey 5K the day after Thanksgiving. So I ran that with her. That was a 5K. I'd never run with the jogging stroller before. And I was like, I'll just do it in a race. That's fine.
How was it?
Well, my first ever race with my daughter, she was only 3 months old, was the single day mile race in Bedford, New Hampshire, actually.
Yep.
And I ruined the finisher photo because I thought a selfie of me and her would be better. So the finisher photo is me like almost tripping over the stroller trying to get a picture of me and her, and she's sleeping.
Yeah, she was
even better.
sleeping at the finish line for mine too.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that's fine.
It's a great shot though. You're like giving a thumbs up or you're waving to us. And
I actually had to pull over because I almost hurled at the finish line.
Oh no.
So I was like, I gotta like breeze right through here because it's not gonna be pretty.
I haven't run one with Natalie yet, but I walked.
You'll get into it.
Yeah, we have our neighborhood fitness series, our BA neighborhood fitness series, which is like
It's now Boston Moves.
Boston Moves. Thank you. Yeah, we rebranded the name. But it's between 1 and 2 mile walks and runs throughout different neighborhoods in Boston, and Elena organizes many of them. And while I was on parental leave and you were back working, I got to push Natalie for 2 miles of a walk, and I got a medal. So that's the extent that I've done. But
post marathon, we'll get back running more. Yeah.
There you go. More time will be in the schedule.
Yes.
Exactly.
It was great advice you said about the watch, and good advice I feel like I give now, like don't take the selfie. But then there's a time when you don't touch the watch and you don't take a selfie and you smile for the camera and your daughter does one of these.
Yep.
So
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love
Yep.
it.
So
She's like, I hate this.
even when we do everything right, they're like,
That's the
Dad,
best picture.
why do we have to do this? That's
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite photos. One of my favorite photos of all time.
For those
By the way-
listening, that's a picture of Eric running I think it was the Cigna 5K in Manchester when Adeline was probably like
Three.
four?
That was
3, 4.
2019.
But the iconic picture that we always talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
She's not impressed.
It is kind of fun to go through like all of marathon photos after the race, just to like, we'll have hundreds of thousands of photos and we'll be going through and you'll catch some great ones like where athletes are just like, I don't know, not having it and they make great faces. One of our friends ran the marathon 2 years ago and was caught mid snot rocket, right?
It's a great photo.
So we
right in front of the Sitco sign.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And
They should
I would
frame it.
frame that exactly.
Oh yeah.
it's now our group chat has that as the image. So
Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
That's great. By the way, Erika dropped the name, but you did a pretty good job with the photo for the race program.
Oh, with Allie, that's
And the little
sweetest.
surprise you did,
yeah.
she thought she was getting fired.
Yeah. Okay, so
Chris is really bad with surprises.
I'm very bad at surprises.
Learn
Atlanta
from this,
can
Chris.
attest.
Learn from
Yeah.
this.
So
yeah.
we didn't. It's a long story, but we didn't know exactly when the program was going to go to print, and it prints pretty quickly. Once it's on the presses, it's done. Within a day. So it happened to be printed in New Hampshire and in Hooksett. And
Greatest state.
yeah, we work with Yankee Magazine, and Cummings Press was amazing. They were like, yeah, we'd be happy to have you guys in to look at the presses. So I texted Allie like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow at 1 or whatever? And she's like, why? And I'm like, I can't tell you much, but meet us at this warehouse,
No cause for alarm there.
Yeah.
Only with Chris would people like trust that too and just be like, yeah, that's fine. I'll meet you at a weird warehouse at a random time. Like, he's a trustworthy guy. So you're like, okay, fine. But I was like, that's kind of crazy. You didn't give her any context. And so she showed up. She was like, I have no idea why I'm here. And we're all like, hey. And she's like, what's going on?
No, it worked out amazing. She was very surprised. It was a really special moment. And
you did well. That was one of those 100,000 photos you scanned through and you found a good one.
Well, it's all credit to our communications manager, Celia Oswich. She's within 3 months on the job, 4 months on the job. And one of her first tests was, all right, look, help us look through our photos and try to find something that embodies meet the moment, which is this year's theme where, all the volunteers, all the spectators, everybody out there is supporting, these athletes and having their really special moment. In that photo, she was like, this is it. So Celia was the one who was like, this is the photo that speaks to it. And Allie's backstory and the energy that she brings to the sport, and especially Boston Marathon, that was a really special moment. It was up there in the 12 years I've been at the BAA, or 13 years that was up there. And, it was a really, really special one. And I think a lot of people are going to have their programs ready for Allie to sign them or to put them on race.
Nailed it, guys. We might have to change the name, though, to the NHBAA, since everyone's from New Hampshire. The program's printed in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Just like the headquarters is moving to New Hampshire.
I mean,
New Hampshire's running the show. Let's go. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's time for our final two questions, and I'm sure we'll talk a little more after that. But our final two questions, thank you to my race tats for doing this. Erika has one, and I have one, and I'm going to start. I want your hot take, and I'm going to make it even harder. What's your Boston Marathon hot take?
Oh,
you go first.
I had to approve mine with the director of communications.
This ought to be good. Let's go.
Okay, so mine kind of stems from like a phrase that a former colleague of ours had always said before she retired. But mine is that the Boston Marathon is just a road race. And I'm probably going to get some hate for that. But I think that, that's a phrase that we have to say in our household often when the work stress is getting to be too much for us. It's just a road race, just a road race. And there are so many amazing things that people are accomplishing on race day and leading up to race day. And, people who have trained for years of their lives to become a qualifier, people who are fundraising thousands and thousands of dollars. And I feel like a lot of times, like, all that pressure can be a lot going into race weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important, like, as you're stepping into race week, to kind of remind yourself, at the end of the day, it is just a road race. And you're doing this for fun and to challenge yourself and to see what the human spirit can accomplish. So, just take it easy and enjoy it as much as you can, even through, the pain of running a marathon.
Yeah.
That is totally understandable. That is reasonable.
Yeah.
Honestly, yes.
I know. It feels all important all the time, especially in our household. The Boston Marathon is very important, but it is a road race.
Yeah.
Yes.
Facts. I mean, and the hot take is for some back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gets people talking.
Feel free to rebut.
Like, from a communications side, I'm always saying it's so much more than just a road race. But, and it really is. But you're right that, at the end of the day, it's folks going from the start in Hopkinton, 26.2 miles, just like, it's the same distance at any other marathon out there. There might be more fans on the sidelines or more, pomp and circumstance. But, I think you said it well, that it really embodies the human spirit and just pushing yourself and seeing what you can do. But
it's a good hot take.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
It's factual. It just happens to be a little bigger than the Goffstown Gallop.
Exactly.
A little bit. By like 30, I don't know. There's like 200 people who run my road race. It's not even my road race, but occasionally.
Hey, that's important too.
It is. Community.
All right. Can I say 2?
Yeah. I
All
make
right.
the rules. You can say 2.
Okay. One is that I think every Boston Marathon sports icon should try to run the marathon at least once.
Oh, yeah.
And I say this because Zdeno Chara has run the marathon a couple times now, and I don't think anybody, 10 years ago would have said, "Oh, Zdeno Chara is going to run the marathon." I would love to see, Tom Brady or
Yeah.
Say Tom Brady first.
yeah,
David
or
Ortiz.
or
Yep.
you name it.
That would be so fun.
Right?
Not a basketball
I'm all
guy,
for
but
that.
Paul Pierce would be a great story.
yeah.
Like Teddy Bruschi has run it. Brock Holt has run it. Going beyond Boston sports stars, Jimmy Johnson has run it from a NASCAR standpoint. Danica Patrick. I think I don't know what the hot take is there, but I think maybe you can't be a true Boston sports icon until you at least
Run the
try.
Boston Marathon. That's
There's
the
a
hot
like
take.
it.
Yeah. Or it's
I
like
like it.
You might be a Stanley Cup champion, but you're
Right.
not a true Boston icon until you're a Stanley Cup champion and a Boston Marathon finisher.
Be like
Yeah.
Chara. Be like
Exactly.
Chara.
Be like Z.
Or it's like the phrase in when high school cross country where you're like, my sport is your sport's punishment. Like that's you just make every famous sport
Yeah.
person have to run the marathon. Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it would be kind of cool.
That should-
Who's the fastest Boston sports icon out there?
There we go.
and-
Should be like a
Or
Hall of
relay
Fame
race.
requisite or something. You want to be in the
Right.
Hall of Fame or faster? Go ahead and run the marathon. We'll get you in sooner.
Yeah.
Listeners to this podcast, by the way, know that I've been saying for well over 100 episodes, need to get Big Z on the podcast. So if you know anybody,
I can
You walked
Maybe-
with him for a couple
for
seconds.
next year.
yeah. When he got his medal a couple of years ago, I was next to him and someone snapped a photo and literally I'm
You got to get a big volunteer, like a tall one, to put the medal
Right.
over him, Elena.
Right?
no.
I
That's
know.
an important job.
We start sourcing people's height information so we can place them in the right place. Yeah.
Yeah.
How tall is he? I'm 5'9". I mean,
Yeah, there you go.
can wear some big shoes. I don't know. We'll talk.
Allie can hand him the medal from the thing up top.
Air
Yeah.
jacket.
the photo bridge. We'll just drop
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah.
I have a height fun fact about the photo bridge. It is just the height high enough so that fire trucks can go under it just in case.
Smart.
Oh, that is a
so
cool
smart.
fun fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The things you wouldn't think about.
Right. So
Yeah.
when we're up there and the street isn't closed down yet, and there'll be buses or duck tours that go under. If you see a fire truck come under, that's as close as we'll get to hitting the
What's
top.
the clearance between a fire truck and the photo?
Oh,
bridge?
I don't know what it's probably close. It's probably too close for comfort, but no, but
Not gonna have a Sturo Drive situation on
Oh my
marathon.
god!
Yeah.
On moving day.
right?
Yeah.
My other hot take is that I think NASCAR fans would be big fans of marathoning because I think there's a lot of similarities between the sport and the drama. I've been trying to convince a lot of our running friends to tune into NASCAR because of the strategy or
Yeah.
the for folks who are listening that don't know me, I'm a big NASCAR fan. And I think there's a lot of similarities that I think,
Our first ever meeting we ever had, we wasted 30 minutes talking about NASCAR.
yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And Eric's been trying to get me to jump on the NASCAR train for a long time, but he didn't sell it like you just did. It makes a lot of sense now.
I've been trying to
He's
convince
trying to
Elena.
convince me, and I'm hard to convince. Yeah.
Well, listen, you guys know you have an open invitation to the camper for race weekend. We cook
That
breakfast.
sounds
I've already got my
I might go
tickets.
to that.
so-
Yeah,
Yeah.
we cook a huge breakfast. If you come Saturday night, we do lobster. We do a whole
Oh.
like clam, whatever they call
Yeah.
it.
Elena's
and-
like, count me in.
yeah,
There's lobster coming.
yeah, it's Saturday night, lobster night in Loudon,
Hey.
What weekend is it this year? When is it?
late August.
August. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I
I'll
already
be
got
away.
my tickets. So,
Yeah.
no, there is a connection between Elena and Ryan Blaney, one of the best NASCAR drivers out there.
Yeah.
No,
You
you ran. So your first marathon, you
Yeah.
ran in honor of. You
I
said-
ran for Massachusetts Fallen Heroes in honor of my cousin who was killed in Iraq in 2004. And they do, what race is it in NASCAR?
It's was it Charlotte? The
Memorial Day race.
Memorial Day, yeah, the Memorial Day race.
Yep.
Each driver puts a name of a fallen hero on their car.
Oh,
And
it was his?
Yeah. And
yeah.
it was his name, so
wow.
Sergeant Gregory Belanger. So my cousin actually still has the piece of the NASCAR too
Yeah.
in his house.
Wow.
It's
So they-
one of your
Yeah.
cousin's friends, I believe, was on a pit crew or was connected to Ryan Blaney.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That's-
it's a really special honor. Yeah.
So every driver, Erika, puts their name on the above the door and also on the
Oh,
windshield. But for that
okay.
race, they put a name of a fallen soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, now
That's
Chris
cool.
is a really big fan.
Well, I'm a
of
huge Ryan
Blaney.
Blaney fan.
Yeah.
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 I was before I knew that.
Yeah.
But that story. But
That
yeah.
helps.
I met Ryan a while back on the Talladega Boulevard.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's on my bucket list.
I'll
My
go with
sports
you.
bucket list.
I'll
to
go
go
with you.
to
When the kid's a
Talladega.
little older, my hands are
Yeah.
tied right now. But
Yeah. Yeah.
guys, this was incredible. Erika does have a question
Yeah.
for you, though.
Do not cut me. No, we are getting these songs out of them. Do not end this early. All right, Elena, I'm going to ask you first. We have a Spotify playlist that we have started compiling. Actually, it's been going for a while. There's a lot of songs on there, but we want to invite you and Chris to each add a song to it. So is there anything that you like to listen to that just pumps you up or gets you motivated to get out the door or to organize all of the stuff that you do at the Boston Marathon?
Yeah. So I feel like this time of year I like go back to a lot of like my 90s like comfort kids
Yes.
shows and things like that and movies. So my go-to pump up song is Eye to Eye from a Goofy movie.
Hands down, not even joking, my favorite Disney movie since like 1990. What is 92 or something?
It's so
Oh,
good.
Oh my
And
god, I
that
love
is
you.
like such a good song. So
we just had
people are
like,
gonna be like,
did we just become best friends?
Oh, yeah.
Yup.
yeah. No, and sometimes I mention that song and people are like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, see, you're a real one. You get it. Yeah.
Yep. And it's not eye to eye. It's literally the letter
An
I, the
I,
number 2,
two,
and then I.
Yeah. You
So
know.
by
It's like that.
Powerline, yes.
Elena,
All right,
Yep.
nailed it.
I had a crush on Roxanne.
See?
I mean,
Yeah.
who didn't?
She
Great
was
movie.
So cute.
Chris, can you top that? I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
I can't
No,
top
you
that.
can't.
No,
Yeah.
I can't top that. My favorite song is "Feel the Love" by Rudimental.
Okay. That's
And
good
it's-
too, though. But I think Elena
no,
might win this
doesn't
one.
it doesn't draw the same reaction, I can tell.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Um,
can't help it.
No, but it's to me it gets me pumped up. I also often listen to it before a race or when I'm getting ready on marathon race day. It's all about the energy and like the love that's it's a really good
Those are the vibes, man. That's what you
Yeah.
want for race day.
up
Just something that's
tempo,
gonna,
really fun.
Happy things. Yeah.
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 Excellent choice.
Guys, this was absolutely incredible. The two of you absolutely delivered. We're going to have to do it again because I need to get
Yeah.
some of those stories in. So over the next year or so, save some of those stories, those Code Brown stories, those oh crap moments.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you had some from your first ever race in 2018, Elena.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
Chris, you've been doing this since you were like 12, so I'm sure you got a lot.
Yeah.
This was so much fun, guys. I really hope everyone enjoyed. Last question. Who's going to win the Boston Marathon?
Oh.
I feel like you would have the best guess at that.
See, okay, I'm gonna be lame. I don't like to make my prediction till like after the press conference on Friday morning when you really get to like talk to the athletes and get a sense of,
Who's really gunning for it?
yeah. So come back to me on Friday afternoon and I'll
It's a cop out.
come to the to Fan Fest.
Fest,
Come to
yes.
the Fan Fest. We're recording at 6 p.m. Saturday. Come by, grab a microphone, and give me
Yeah.
your response then.
All right.
All
I
right.
love it. I'll just predict it's going to be a close race and a really fun race to watch.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's what
Photo
we want.
finish
That's all we want.
3-way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Three for
Exactly.
Dale, as I say.
Yes.
Guys, this was awesome. Natalie Rose slept through the whole thing. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Well,
She made like one
she
peep,
stirred
but
at
she's
one
still
point,
sleeping.
and we were worried. We both probably looked over at the monitor to make sure she wasn't making any noise. So
Something
That
good.
was incredible. Listen, the two of you are awesome. The way Elena looked at you the whole time when you were talking, just like, that's what you got to go for in
That's
life.
love.
Get someone who looks
Right?
at you like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. You got some insights to people who work for the BAA and what goes on behind the scenes for their job. Erika, that was wicked awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining us today. This was just so cool to get to know you guys a little bit better, to get the behind the scenes look into the BAA and the Boston Marathon and even some of the other races. So keep doing what you're doing. Good luck this week. I know you guys are going to be busy, but you guys got this, and have a blast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can't wait to celebrate.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Chris and Elena on the On the Runs podcast. That was wicked awesome.
Elena and Chris, thank you so much for coming on the pod and talking to us and giving us all those inner workings for the Boston Marathon. And you know what? I have to apologize to Chris for a second because I did not give his song enough credit because I went back and re-listened and it is awesome, but I was just a little too excited over Elena's song. So I'm giving everybody credit because those are some good additions to the playlist. And
What did they pick
awesome.
again?
So Chris did Feel the Love from Rudimental, and that's an excellent song. And then, but Elena, she picked like one of my childhood favorites from a Goofy movie, Eye to Eye from
That's
Powerline.
right. That's right. And I
got
told
so
her I had a
excited when
huge
you
crush
said
on
that.
Roxanne.
Yup. And sorry, that one just like so nostalgic for me that I had to just get really excited over it. But Chris had an awesome song as well. They're both awesome additions to our playlist. I love them both. So giving credit where credit's due.
That's incredible. I was just speaking about music. Allie, you will love this. I was just at the trampoline park. We just got back and they were playing a song and Ain't It Fun by Paramore.
Oh yeah,
But
I
it was
love
this
that one.
fun, like mix different. And so I Googled it, because you don't need Shazam now anymore. You just go to Google and you hit like listen and it tells you what the song is. So it's Ain't It Fun, but it's by Wookie, WKI.
Interesting.
And so I play this. I'm going to send it to you. I play this, but then Spotify continues to play songs like it on the car ride.
Nice.
It was like we were just jamming out coming home from the trampoline park, which sad, but needed to be. It's over in a couple of days. Friday's our last day of our trampoline park pass. We got it. It's in Concord. So we like drive.
Oh, you have to go all the way up there. Oh.
Well, cheerleading practice all winter was 2 minutes from there.
Mm-hmm.
So we got
makes sense.
Yeah, we got like a 4-month pass. And whenever we dropped Adeline off at cheerleading, we'd go jump for 2 hours. It was incredible. And so it expires on Friday. And we're like, we're not going to renew it until next winter because it's summertime. It's at it's at the Pheasant. Is it the Pheasant Lane Mall? I don't remember. What's the name of that mall? Steeplegate.
Steeplegate, because Pheasant Lane's in Nashua,
It's
isn't
an
it?
old abandoned mall now. Everything's boxed up, but there's a
Now
couple of
it's
the big stores that are turned into like
just a
trampoline parks
trampoline
or
park.
whatever. You can go on YouTube and find like these kids rummage through the mall, which is abandoned, and it's like super cool to see inside. The movie theater too. It's all like been shut down since COVID.
Oh, that
around
creeps
that
me out
time.
for some reason. Like, I'm so used to seeing those kind of shots, like the abandoned mall and like horror things.
I love watching the YouTube videos because like the power is still on, the light's still on, like there's still security.
Why do
I
they
feel like-
bother powering it? Like, I don't know.
I-
Seems like a waste.
I don't know. I mean, the
Good
lights turn on,
questions.
not
Mhm.
all the lights, but enough,
Okay, that's fair.
Also, I kind of think like they had permission to do the video, but they make it
Oh.
look like they're sneaking into an abandoned mall, so the lights are on. I think.
It's all about how it looks.
But Chris and Elena were incredible. We could have
Mhm.
talked to them for another 2 hours.
I
longer.
really, really, really enjoyed that conversation. It was so much fun. They do have a depth of knowledge with.
Yeah, if you remember,
BAA.
we had to end it when we did because we had another guest coming on.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of us just chatted for like 20 minutes before we started with the other guests. And we're like,
Yes.
Chris, it's Elena, I would love to have you stay, but that guest you're going to hear from on Thursday couldn't start until like 8:30 because of her job. And so we were like, well, let's do our normal time and let's just do another one late. And it was a full night. So that was really cool. It was a lot of fun. And I can't wait to meet you both this weekend. I know you're going to be really busy, so I'm not going to take up all your time, but it was incredible. And then let's run because we're all in New Hampshire, where the new Boston Marathon BAA headquarters is going to relocate.
How awesome would that be? But one more thing before we move on to other topics. I just want to wish the best marathon weekend to Chris and Elena, all the staff and volunteers, and to the runners this weekend because the big show's coming. So I hope just everything goes smoothly and it's so much fun.
Yeah. And then Chris, you're welcome on the podcast stage to tell me who you think's going to win, because he wanted to wait until the press conferences, I think on Friday.
That's fair.
And then he'll make his selection. Speaking of selections, March Madness is over.
It's done.
It's done.
I came in second in my friend bracket. I almost won. Stupid UConn.
I think a congratulations is in order. We have to give its due to Alex from Ketchup to Cancer, because Alex has an incredible support crew. So incredible. I was a little disappointed because I knew this medal was going to win after round 1. That I even tried to be like, yo, Alex, tell your friends to vote for the others, please.
But that just shows you the power of sharing. We just need everybody to be followers now.
It's true.
Let's go.
It's true. It was, it was different than what we did before, because last year was songs and the year before was foods. This was people submitted their medals. So I guess, it kind of turned into, as someone said, a popularity contest.
A little bit.
I would also say that Alex was the only one sharing his medal. So, I mean, others were not sharing their medals they sent. But yeah, it got, it won every round by close to 40 votes. And I knew it right away, because maybe every match got 80 votes, but that one was always getting 120,
Gotcha.
So I knew right away. I was almost like, what do we do? Or something. I did reach out to Alex. I said, you have an amazing support crew. It would be nice if they could follow back or vote for the others. And he tried. He did try. So
that's fair.
I think it just it tells us what to do next year, is maybe we stick to something again that we pick. But the medals are cool. Shout out to Patrick Lieber, Peer Pressure Before Priceline. Come to Boston, but that was Patrick's.
Patrick, have fun in New Orleans. That's where he's headed.
That was his suggestion from the survey, and then he texted it to us and said, "I think he had the ring. His was the ring, right?" So
I really did like that idea, though, getting the unique different medals and awards that you might get from a race. I like when it's off the beaten path.
Yeah. Well, it was really cool seeing the cowboy hat and the train spike and the beach bum, the she-shell.
The she-shell.
I know.
The railroad spike.
I know. I can't say things. Sally sells she-shells by the seashore.
Never
Try
change,
to say that.
buddy. Never change.
Thank you. I hope everyone not only appreciates that, but knows that when they invite me to go interview a Boston champion. And then they probably realize I talk the way I do, and they're like, oh, wait, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
So wait, if we ever have to do that again, give me a mic. You say everything except when you have a word you're stuck on, you give me the mic and I'll say the hard words.
But hey, once you say it enough, I can say Keflezgi now.
Keflezgi.
I got it.
See, you did great. So good. Practice. That's all it takes.
Now let's just work on Elliot Kachobe. Anyways.
Someday you'll get it. Someday.
Have you been watching The Pitt?
Yes, I've caught up more. What time was it? It was I got to the 2 p.m. episode. So.
Okay. Oh, you're right with me. I think I'm at 3. I'm at 2 or 3 right now.
Okay, I'm right around there. I can't remember which one I finished.
The doctor just came back. He's in the army camo outfit.
Yep. I saw that episode.
He's the one where you realize at the very end of season 1, he's amputee. Yeah.
Yes, I forgot about that.
And everybody's in love with him.
Oh,
that song, Where's My Husband At? They're all doing it to him. Yeah. They love him. The Pitt's so good.
Yes.
I saw someone did intro for The Pitt, if Pitt was in the 90s, what would it be? And it was to the music of ER.
Oh,
and they kept
ER.
They kept one clip from ER, and it's a half second, but it's Peter Betton, who was actually John Carter's, who's Dr. Robbie in The Pitt. It was Carter's teacher, trainer, mentor. It was his karate chop after doing a successful surgery, yeah. So you see this cool Pitt intro with the ER music, and then just the one clip, half a second, yeah.
Nice.
But The Pitt's good. Let's not talk about it. No spoilers.
Nope. Especially because I have 5, 6, or 7 episodes left. I don't know how many.
Right. So I know the final episode just went out last Thursday, though.
Oh, good. I can just binge watch it.
Exactly. But we're going to binge it and then talk about it after things slow down, because things are really busy right now. We'll do
Yes.
a full episode dedicated to it.
That's
Maybe we
great.
try to get someone from the Pit on the podcast.
Well, we need to have Tara and Lindsay because they joined us for the first round of Pit talk. So, or at least Tara did. So,
If you've been watching the Pit and want to be a part of this, I'll bring you in. Like if you're really into it and you were into the first season and you're into it again and you're following around, like we'll bring you in and we'll talk to you about it too, because this has been really good. I feel like where we're at I can't talk about it because maybe you haven't listened, but like it just happened and now it's going to get crazy. So I'm pumped.
I think I know where you're going and I think I'm there, but I also don't
You
want
are.
to.
The CEO just walked in where I'm at.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in
So
the same
everything
spot.
is
Exactly.
different.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier how I quote unquote snoozed through the cheap marathon registration, and
Yeah, you did.
I have to actually correct you there. I woke up it was 6 a.m. Pacific time because it opened at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And it just took me that long to get through the whole list because you can pick something. It's like, tell us something about yourself that we could say during like when you're getting ready to go. And
Did you
so
do that? Were you like, I'm a podcast host, I'm going for a PR, want to be
I just
QQ
put Erika
someday.
from On the
I need a
Runs.
job.
Oh, see, that would have taken me longer. But it took me, I think, 6 minutes to get through the registration process. And it said when I started that there were 49 available spots at the $26.20 price. And I was
So
like,
one
I got
person
this.
registered when you logged on.
Apparently so. So I'm going through it. I have the pricing. I added on the additional parking pass again because that was super convenient. And I go to check out, and then it's like, oh, just kidding. You lost out on this. So everybody registered like just before me. And I was like, what the hell? So I did not get the cheap price this year. It cost me $39.99 plus the additional parking pass. Yeah, I'm kind of sad about
You
that.
snooze, you lose.
But
You
I
hit the snooze button.
didn't snooze.
Oh, somebody brought this up. And they said, can you please address this? False advertising or something along those lines. And I was like, sure, we'll talk about it. And we'll do so and educate ourselves. And we went online. We found the block pricing. Everything was listed in details. It looks like, everyone knew what was going on. There's plenty of talk on Instagram, emails saying like the first 50 people get it for $26. You ended up getting it for like $40.
It was $40.
The next price was $70. Then it goes up and up and up and up. But like, that's natural. Sometimes the races do sign up before this date for this price.
Yeah.
In this case, I don't know the history, but I know like it's only been 26.2 for not everybody, but the early birds. Not people like me who have gamophobia.
Oh, definitely not. You're paying up there. But they broke it down by like this many people get this price. The next blank amount of people get this price, and then so on as it goes.
You do think though, you said like as the tiers get higher, the price is way too high, you said.
I do think so. I don't want to talk negatively about this race, but
because you love it.
I do love it.
It's one of your favorites.
It definitely is. But I mean, when you get into the $80, $90 ranges, I don't know. I don't know if
nothing. That's nothing. Like you got what? You want to do a marathon, raise 10 grand? You want to do an Ironman? That costs $1,000. Starting fee for a half Ironman is like $350. And the price gets pretty high. I know. I'm not paying that. But like what I think is this. That race is like a premier premium race to BQ. It's ranked 6th nationally. So imagine you're the Rullet. Remember, he missed his BQ by 3 seconds. Is there another race I can sign up for? A last chance to get another BQ. I'm like, just icing on the cake. You're in prime shape. You just need 3 more seconds. What's a race? Go check out the cheap marathon. It's flat. It's fast. It's ranked 6th nationally as one of the best races in the country to get a BQ. I would, if I was in that kind of shape and that close, there's no price limit. Like,
oh, I'm not saying I wouldn't pay it. It's just that
you're paying like for the chance to BQ. And I know the buffer, but like the Rullet's example, he got it by a minute. Everyone got in that year. You don't know what the buffer's going to be. Like you just there's your chance. Like, what's another chance to add to my time? Again, 6 nationally. If this was like a super hilly hard course, I could understand it being like, no, I'm not going to pay over $200 or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But when you're looking at it and you're like, this is a chance for me to do something.
But what about all the people who aren't trying to BQ?
Well, that's like, I think the selling point on this race, though, is that it's a BQ race. Did you see how many people ran that race under 3 hours? Over 104 people in the cheap marathon the other day ran 3 hours or faster. 32.5% of the field ran a BQ.
That is incredible. I'll give them that.
The selling point of that, like, I'm now arguing you because you're like, oh, it's too expensive after like the 5th tier. And I'm like, no, like, this is a premium race in my mind for the BQ experience.
Let me get this out then. If you're gonna start charging the really high numbers for like after X amount of people, you can do a medal. You can give out gels on course.
No, well, yeah.
Come on.
No.
I just hope
the
if
ribbon
that
is
extra
such a
money,
part of this.
Hold on. If I'm gonna spend that much money, it's either that or I hope a whole lot of money goes to the charities.
No, Erika,
that's what I hope for.
You're not spending that money though. You're not going there to BQ. You're hoping one day you could as you keep aging up. But you are not going there to BQ. But people are, and they are doing it last minute. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get that.
They run a race and they just miss their BQ. Within a month later, like it's marathon season in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to BQ for the next year's Boston Marathon, like if you just ran a race in, say, Ohio and just missed it, I'm going to make my way up to New Hampshire. They're going to pay the money. You are not trying to BQ. You're not in that 32.5% of the field. You're not trying to BQ. So you're not going to spend that kind of money. I get that.
Yeah.
But that's a selling point on this race.
All right. So they can get away with it for the
They're
last
not getting away
minute
with anything.
signups.
That's how sales work. That's everywhere.
I know.
Like, if you have, like, Jesus Christ. Did you see the prices of the Boston Fleet game the other day at the Garden? It sold out. Tickets were over $200, like, starting.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can do it because it's a premium event.
I don't think I can
it's
argue
not minor league hockey. It's not minor league. Like, they're trying to BQ. They're trying to achieve a goal and not have to raise $10,000. To them, it's a lot more worth paying $200 and getting that BQ.
It just kind of boxes out other people.
No,
like,
because you signed up.
For me.
You
Not
signed up for
for the-
$40.
But not $80.
But you got in for 40 because you're not like me. You don't have gamophobia. Like,
yes,
I don't understand because this goes beyond the podcast, guys. This goes like into our text thread the other day when this was brought up and we're talking about it. Like, do we talk about it how? And I'm like, of course we do.
Well, another thing that bothered me was so I had my pricing and then as I checked out, like I would think that it would like do at least a lock-in thing. Like I was one of the first 50 or whatever to start. And you're like, no, that doesn't work like that for everything.
Well, no, because you're not like buying a seat on a plane or a seat at the game. You're just getting
a spot in a marathon.
I'm like, you're complaining about $40 for a marathon.
If you tried to do like the dopey challenge or something and you got in through the huge queue that they put you in and you didn't check out fast enough and you lost your spot, you wouldn't be happy.
Well, you got to check out quicker then. It's on you.
I tried.
You snooze, you lose.
Stop giving me so many options.
You took too much time typing in, I'm Erika from the On the Runs podcast.
Fine. Next time, I'm not even putting team on the runs. You get nothing from me. Mm-hmm.
Well,
is that what you want?
You got to start contributing more, as we talked about. But I think the website is clear as day. And they came back and they said, you're right, it is. And I think they were talking on behalf of somebody else who is frustrated about the cost. And that individual said that when they emailed Millennium saying, I'm disappointed about not getting the 26.2, and they ended up paying like $80, Millennium refunded them. Full refund.
Oh, well, that was nice. Yeah. No, I get it. We're on both sides.
Some people it's annoying, like to you, and some people to me, it's just like, I'm going to pay like $60 in a couple weeks to run a 10K.
Well,
A 10K, and you're upset about paying $40 to run a marathon.
hey, that's the cheapest. Well, still, even at $40, that's the cheapest marathon I can get away with every year. So I'm going to stick to it. I still love the race. I'm still going to go. I'm still going to do it. Who's going to be my replacement next year? We'll find out.
That is the day Ragged Mountain does the pond skim, and I've yet to do that.
Next year?
But, well, no, like this past year, Cheap Marathon was the pond skim day at Ragged. So I didn't do it.
Well, we can do all the other races around it, man.
Well, I don't
we
want to
got
always
live
do the
races
same race,
coming.
but that is like an epic one to do a show at. Location-wise, it's 5 minutes down the road. It's a really nice setup around where everyone finishes, and just the way it starts and everything is super cool. Like, they make you feel like a pro. So I feel like every penny you spend is worth it.
Well, I mean,
But,
now
you
that
know-
they put us there.
I love that.
You get so heated, man.
I love it. I love it. Guys, couple things. One, if you have a terrible running photo, please send it to me. I have a vision of something I want to create. Two, if you want to come and hang out with us on Saturday during the day, Saturday night at the Fan Fest and after, or Monday at Mile 19.2, please shoot us a DM. And I'm going to send an email out probably on Thursday with logistics of everything, where we're going to meet and all that. And also on Thursday's episode, we're going to talk about the details, the finer details of where we'll be and when, what our game plan is, where we're parking and all that. Because we will meet some people in Nashua, and then we'll drive in. We'll also meet people in Newton at that baseball field near the high school.
Yep.
And we'll have you and I are going to have a meeting, and we're going to figure it all out before the next episode. Also,
We got a lot of work to do. I'm
save
excited.
the date. Ooh, I like that word, we.
What are we
Also,
doing?
save the date. If you live out in the Keene area, we're going to go do a live show in Keene on Friday night, May 1st.
I'm
We're
excited
doing
about
a
that.
show out there at Ted's. Ted's is a running retail store. We're going to go there early, and we're going to record with Ted, and then we're going to have a live show and talk to 3 different people. It's going to be a lot of fun. More details on that later, but Boston Weeks.
We got to focus on Boston, man. This is the big show. It is here.
It's go time, baby. Let's do it. Erica,
Yeah.
take us home.
Oh, I hope everybody's gearing up for the big day. It's coming, whether you want it to or not. But as always, everybody, thank you for listening. You know we love you.
Don't fear the code brown.
And don't forget to stretch.
All right.
Okay.
I got to switch the pages. Hopefully the Bruins are winning. All right.
I don't know. Is it good?